most of these projection systems have the Mariners sitting around 88 to 90 wins this season. I'm going to go a little bit higher just to buffer that, right? So they're the favorites to win the AL West. I think they're going to win the AL West, but you may have a surging Astros or Rangers if they get rolling or get crazy at the deadline. So you're probably looking at 92 just to be safe. So here are 3 things that need to happen to get that 92 win total in 2026. First, it starts with the rotation. Yeah, I know it sounds cliche, but coming into 2025, it was supposed to be one of the best rotations in baseball, if not the best. But right out of the gate, you had George Kirby sitting on the IL out of spring training. Then Logan Gilbert missed all of the month of May. And Bryce Miller was back and forth with some injuries as well. And because of that, they never really got into a rhythm. Now, to their credit, they held it together and stayed around the middle of the pack in ERA. But they were not where they were in the top 5, what the prediction was. But here's the thing. The offense had to carry them those first couple of months. But that's not the blueprint. This team is built to be carried by its pitching. 5 quality starters. We've got a couple of little injury niggles right now with Bryce Harper. But the rotation has to be top 5 to get them to 92 wins. And how do they do that? They've got to be healthy. It has to be elite, especially in April and especially in May. All right, let's move to number 2. They've got to find ways to score without the long ball, right? Last year, just over 50% of their runs came from home runs. That was second most. And look, that's great when it's working, trust me. You had Cal Raleigh hitting 60, Polanco, who's not here anymore, he hit 26. Randy Rosarena had a career year, I think he hit 27. Julio hit 30 plus. Look, I'm not saying they can't repeat that. I'd love to be there in the booth calling all Cal's milestone home runs and clearing out for Goldsmith to make the perfect call every single night. But you can't rely on that alone. With runners in scoring position, they were bottom 5 in the league. Strikeout rate, we've heard about this the last couple of years, was over 23%. That's top 10 highest. Now, compare that to teams like the Blue Jays, who went on to the World Series. We know about that. I don't want to get into it. Or the Brewers. They're near the top in situational hitting and lower strikeout rates, right? You can't rely on as many home runs as we got last year. You simply can't. So the question is, can this team generate that magic 5+ runs a game, right? They were around 4.92 last year. But if you can get to that 5 runs a game without needing 3-run homers, because if they can do that, now you're talking about a complete offense. All right, let's get in number 3. I say this every year. Julio Rodriguez, right? I say it every year, man. A lot depends on him. Now, Cal Raleigh became the face of this team last year. The extension, 60 home runs, everything. But Julio is still the engine. He's still the aircraft carrier. We've seen it. Second half, he goes off on a tear. 2-time Silver Slugger, Rookie of the Year. But I get to watch him every single day. And the question is, can that version of Julio show up in the month of April and stay through October? Because if he's that guy at the top of a lineup every day, that changes everything for this team, right? He is capable of that. He's capable of being the best on the planet. So if these 3 things happen, the rotation stays healthy and elite, they find ways to score beyond the long ball. And Julio is that guy from day one. This team doesn't just win the division, they run away with it. And we're talking about a really memorable October